Good morning, everybody. Just give me 1 second. Me and YouTube are having some issues. I've been locked out of my settings. I can't access YouTube settings. I can't change the thumbnails. There's a lot of stuff going on with the YouTube channel, and I have no idea why. I've made them aware of it, but with YouTube, you can make them aware of stuff they don't get right on it. So it might be a little bit. But anyways, I'll just change the thumbnail later. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing this morning? Mr. Bitcoin has broken out to new all-time highs. I am aware all of you know that, but we are going to look at some things, talk about a position I took yesterday morning on it before the breakout and why, and we'll look at some other alts that could be in the realm of possible breakouts. We got some movement going on in some of the crypto assets and a couple Forex pairs. So give me 1 second to tighten up. And let's get on with this. All right. So yesterday morning before Bitcoin broke out, it basically traded up. Here, let's go get the old all-time high up there so that way we can monitor it. Now, the all-time high is different depending on exchange. All right. So you can see here on Kraken's exchange, it was 64.9. And then on Coinbase's exchange, it was like 64,899 or something like that. Let's go look at it real quick. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, 64,899. So yeah, a little bit of difference, but it doesn't really matter, right? The main thing is that it broke out in spectacular fashion. Got a nice daily close above, came back in this morning or overnight and throughout the early morning period and hit what was old resistance and tagged it and took off. So right now it's moving to the upside. The thing is if you're trying to short this thing, you're likely to get ran over because the shorts backs are up against the wall now. So they're the ones that have to start making moves. If you're long on this asset under the old all-time high, you're in good shape. You don't have to do anything. You just let price do what it's going to do, right? So we did this right under the all-time high. It was a pretty good stretch, but basically I was watching this candle because when it put it in, that was the resistance up above it. It also became a supply zone. Tested here, multiple times yesterday morning before the breakout, right? So also here's support, but support was so close, such a tight range for hours, which is normal. This is what Bitcoin does, right? You can see down here, same thing. So yesterday I was watching this support zone, right? Thinking that maybe this was going to roll over for a deeper correction and come down and touch this stuff. Or another scenario that we were watching was a close below support and then a rip. Well, we didn't get that. It just started to rip. And as soon as we took out this candle's high, this little hourly's candle's high, on a little pullback, I got long, right? Put my stop underneath this swing low, and then it wasn't very long after that. Just an hour, boom, broke out and moved up to all-time highs. So it's moving along just nicely. These are three nice bullish candles. We're seeing a little bit of dollar strength today. Right here, not much, right? The last couple hours, this thing looks like it's finding resistance. This is what we want to see. If you want to see continuation of Bitcoin strength, you want to see dollar weakness. Bitcoin can go up if the dollar's trading up as well. It's just a lot easier for it if it doesn't have to trade against a strong dollar, if that makes sense. If it's trading against a weak dollar, that will absolutely help the price move higher. And it looks like the dollar is finding a bit of resistance here. So we're going to keep an eye on it. And like I said, there's really nothing to do, right? Now, I took this as a day trade. I have a spot long position way lower that I've been accumulating for over a year, just buying red weeklies. So that position, I don't do anything with it. I just buy every time there's a red week. I just add a little bit more to it, And since I've been able to trade on the KuCoin inverse swap contract, I'm able to take a small portion of Bitcoin, put it over on exchange, and trade inside and around these moves, right? Inside and around these moves. So basically, I was looking for just a test of the all-time high, and once it broke, strong close above, which is fantastic. This came all the way back down almost to my entry yesterday. So I did take profits on this closure, 50%, moved the stop to break even. It did not stop me out. It was very, very close. So the position is still rolling on along. So we'll see what happens. Not looking for this to pull back anytime soon. Bitcoin, usually when it breaks out of old all-time highs, it likes to just absolutely rip faces off, especially if it's a break of a high that's been intact for a long time, right? This high has been intact since April. We're now in October, so 6 months this thing's been situated. There's not very many places in the chart where I can see where Bitcoin put in a new all-time high and then that high remained the high for that long. I guess the one cycle that would even look similar to that would be 2013. It's the only cycle that looks similar to that, because it took 4 months, I think, from that high. So that's about similar, right? As similar as you can get. But yeah, so what I was saying is when Bitcoin does break out, you can see that it just rips. It just goes and goes. So not looking for this thing to slow down anytime soon. It is a bit extended, right? When we put in these lows down here, it's been a one-sided trade without giving many pullbacks in order to get long. So this section of price is looks very similar to this, right? This just went straight down without providing very many pullbacks. You got one here with a pretty deep correction, tested the midpoint of that bearish candle. So that could have been a possible entry. But here there hasn't really been much chances of entering a new long position, because each time that you did get a pullback, you were at resistance, right? And I don't like taking longs in resistance, so made it a little bit difficult. But yesterday was different because I just had a feeling, right? And that's basically all it was, because nobody knows what price is ever going to do. This nice little breakout here, and then it basically just stayed right there. So I was looking for that to happen, and it did happen. So all's good. We're going to just keep watching Bitcoin as it goes up. Now, I don't have super insane price targets on Bitcoin, like $400,000 Bitcoin. I'm not looking for that in the next 2 months, because to be honest with you, the monthly candle you would have to have like 6 of these, or a few of these much bigger, in order to reach those kinds of prices. So you can see, like, up here's not even 400. You're not even in the 300. Massive candles to get to those prices. What I have done is I have looked at the old all-time high breakout, what we got going on over here, and you can basically take a measured move. Now, this isn't going, you know what I mean? Don't think that this is going to play out. It's just something that happens occasionally, right? Measured moves happen. So there's your breakout from the old all-time high. So basically, if you just move that to roughly around where you got to pull back down here, you could see that your measured move is going to put you at around $75,000, $80,000. And then this move, retrace, move, right? So it's like an impulse, correction impulse around there. So we'll see what happens if Bitcoin gets there, or when Bitcoin gets there. This is a very momentous candle. So basically our bias changed. We were bearish here at Trade Talk on this channel when Bitcoin put in this bearish engulfing, right? We were watching a 2-week resistance level. That 2-week resistance level was key for me. And I basically said that once I need to see a closure above that before I can even begin to look bullish on Bitcoin again, because we had the engulfing. Now, this 2-week was an engulfing, but you can see where it closed. It closed back inside of this bullish candle's range. And then on the monthly chart as well, if you were going to continue to be bullish on Bitcoin, what we wanted to see was a monthly close below the open of this month. And you did not get that. You pushed below it, but you closed well inside of this candle's body. And basically, that's when I was like, look, that's not bearish. That's not bearish at all. If anything, it's a correction on a bullish impulse, and boom, to the upside. There has been a lot of bullish stuff come out on Bitcoin since the lows, not these lows, but these lows, right? This is the B Word podcast. Boom, straight up. Or was it? No, yeah, that's where it was. B Word podcast took us off the yearly lows. Straight up until you got around the 618 retracement level, of which I figured most people that stuck through all of this downside would probably be exiting their positions here. That's where you got a little bit of selling pressure. That's what we get, right? We took a short entry there. We closed it out when this thing pushed up above resistance. So Bitcoin's been bullish ever since it broke out above that descending trend line. This one right here. Oh, let me get the line, bring it over here. Got so much stuff going on, man. It's annoying when YouTube's settings is screwed up. My settings have been screwed up for a while, and they haven't done anything about it, but I'm just now noticing this morning that I can't change my thumbnail. So it's annoying. But anyways, you broke out above this right here, and this massive breakout candle was due to a short squeeze. There was a lot of people looking to get short around here. You had a lot of moving averages here. Your 50 on the RSI would have been put you right around here. So people were looking to get short there. And that's why you got a massive liquidation break candle. That's what that is. And you got follow through. Massive follow through. It's just continuing on. So there's nothing to do, guys. If you're not in Bitcoin right now, there's nothing to do. The video I posted last weekend or last Saturday was basically talking about the 4-year cycles. YouTube and Twitter and everywhere is flooded with that kind of information. And basically the best time to buy Bitcoin, in my opinion, from now on will be during the next halving. As of right now, Bitcoin's going to do its thing. Probably have a parabolic blow off top and then look for a bear market cycle to continue around the beginning of the year. A lot of people that believe in lengthening cycles are calling for March. Right? And on that video, I go into detail how they come up with their $400,000 price targets, $7.5 trillion market cap, and how they get to the March cycle peak is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not going to go into that now. Right now, we're just going to take a look across the markets and see if we can find a setup. This morning, there are a few things moving. Solana up 8% on the day. Pretty big breakout here. Yesterday, the move was bigger. Basically held support. Had one day closed down below support. That is what we call a bear trap. And then boom, so many people were stuck off sides because of that candle. All this is mainly stops. And then buying starts to come in, FOMO buying or whatever. People see this. Shorts are stuck, so now price is just moving straight to the upside. You are into resistance. Where is my thing? There we go. Here we go. You're into daily res. Right there, 190 spot 87. Or 96, sorry. 190 spot 96. That's this close. So that's what you're struggling with right now. All-time high on Solana is 216. This thing moves very, very fast, guys. If you're trading this leverage, you need to be super careful. Make sure you're only risking 1%, because 5x leverage on something that moves very fast will crush you. If you do not know what you're doing, you will get absolutely destroyed. These assets aren't, in my opinion, shouldn't be traded by new traders anyway, because they're crazy, right? Shiba USD right here. This thing looks to me like it's gearing up for another run. This was a massive breakout. Consolidation on highs. You're consolidating above highs. You did break out above daily resistance, and then immediately within 3 days you were back below it. So it looked like it was done, right? It looks like it's rolling over, but here's support, right? Yesterday you had a break and close above resistance. Even closed slightly above this candle here. So closed above 2 dailies. That's resistance. That's a resistance break. Today you are trading back into support to see if it's going to find buyers, or if any buyers are setting up here. So if this translates inside of an intraday chart like this, big strong move to the upside, right? Hourly res here, slight break above, pull back, smaller bounce, pull back. This, what I'm looking for is this thing to just start the climb. Yeah, so watching hourly support today, Price 2849. Going to keep an eye on this. If I get an hourly close below that, and then the next hour I want to see it rise back above it to show sort of like a bear trap, if this is going to continue higher. If you're unable to get a closure back above 2886, this candle here, then you're probably going to trade range bound for the next day or so. I am looking for it to break out. With Bitcoin's momentum the way it is, people that missed Bitcoin's move are going to try to find moves elsewhere. So that's probably why we're seeing a few assets on the move. And this one is on the move. I like it higher. Yeah, like Shiba higher. And it's pulling back today. So if you're looking for entries on this asset, this is what you're looking for, right? You're looking to buy support in uptrends. You're looking to sell resistance in downtrends. So basically, Luna's down on the day a little bit, but it had a big move yesterday. You can see pullback, almost midpoint, getting a bounce. Basically the same thing that Bitcoin's doing right now. Only Bitcoin's up above all-time highs. This thing already took out its all-time highs though earlier, right? All-time highs here. So we've had a few weeks of pullback on this, but you can see that it had held support for a long time. I can't find it here. Was it a 3-day? Because that's what it says it was. Yeah, so bear trap on the 3-day. Here, close below, boom, out, right? Yep, so it's moving along. Nothing to do right now on this. You're into what could possibly be supply, so you don't want to take an entry on this. I like Shiba if you're looking for longs today. Let's see, ASX not doing much. This was a nasty short squeeze a few weeks ago, and since then it's just been consolidating at highs. Typically bullish for an asset when it does that, but it's been doing it for so long that it's probably going to break out soon. Luna, we looked at Luna. What's the other one I was wanting to talk about? Atom, which is Cosmos. A lot of people are calling $100 on this asset. We got a breakout, and it's a legit breakout. Daily close above yesterday, right? Today, he came back in, tested old resistance here, there, and trend line, descending trend line support. You've already come in for a retest. You're seeing a bounce. Another daily close back below that trend line, then this will look more like a trap. But this looks good, right? Nice, methodical moves. Nothing major. So we're looking for this to make higher prices. Atom, if you're looking for entries, you want to look to get entered as close to 35.50 or 35.28 as possible. Stop loss 1%. Right? If you're trying to learn how to trade, use very small risk. Very small risk. There's no reason to waste money right now in the learning phase. Bitcoin dominance. Yesterday had an engulfing, essentially. Right? Today you're seeing a little bit of follow through on it. It has been pushing up, but this isn't a tradable asset. This is calculated by market cap. So if you get moves in alts, then Bitcoin dominance goes down, and vice versa. If alts are going down, Bitcoin dominance moves up, but it's got a lot of math in it, so it's moving lower. You're getting a pop on alts. Some alts, not all alts. You can see here that not very many of these things are up very good. Elrond's moving. It's up 4% on the day. Here you go here. Nice little move. This is breaking out. Yesterday it traded into resistance here and stalled, but you closed right under it, which is good. Today, very small pullback. You're seeing a range expansion. So this trade has already happened, in my opinion. You're looking for this thing to pull back again. And next level of possible resistance is 258 or supply at 257. You can see multiple wicks thrown into that area. Good morning, everybody. You answered as I typed. Thank you. You are welcome, Neil. I'm just blasting through a few of these things. Like I said, got a late start because I was wondering why I couldn't change the thumbnail. I sent an email, so they'll get on it next month or so. Pound dollar broke out yesterday. We got this trend line up here from this peak over here to this peak, right? Yesterday, close above. Yesterday, if we go into the intraday chart, you can see this thing had a pretty big move yesterday. Up, right? Today, you're trading lower because the dollar was going higher. But the dollar looks like it's stalling maybe at resistance. So we're looking for this and Euro USD to possibly stall at support. Euro USD came in for a check of demand right there. Excuse me. All right, there we go. So yeah, checked of demand. Perfect test of it. You're seeing a small bounce. I'm not looking to go long on Euro USD because this is a momentous move down. It looks more than a pullback to me, right? So usually you get some continuation off moves like this, even if it just does last a little bit. So I did not get long down here. I woke up, this was already transpiring. So I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm not looking to get long. Like I said, if anything, I'll be looking for shorts close to old resistance or old support that this broke down through. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll take a position on it. Yesterday we took a position on Euro Yen. Some people took positions in Euro CAD. Which one is it? I think it's this. Euro Yen yesterday. Yesterday morning we were watching old resistance. We woke up. This is what we seen. These moves here. So into resistance we go. That was the position. Boom. Aiming for low of day. And ultimately I had a target to here. And you can see when it hit that, got a bounce, came back up, stopped out the remainder of the position, traded up higher for the rest of the day, and then last night it's rolling over. So it's making its actual move happen today. This doesn't look as bad. CAD Yen has a bearish outside day. Here, boom, boom, took out the highs, took out the lows. This is a pullback. Possible shorts on this, 92.503 intraday. You can see you're testing it now. Resistance is at 92.59. So a push up into there could be a short entry, but that doesn't give you much room for targets. 30 pips. This thing's moving. This thing is moving. So if you do get a pushback up to here, to low a day is 29 pips. That's a valid entry if it gets up there. Keep an eye on this. This is in play. This is in play for the day. Target, low of day. That gets you underneath this wick here as well. So, yep, that'll be a fantastic target. Definitely be looking for that to play out. Don't know if it will, obviously, but that's what I'm looking for. Euro CAD, hourly. Big, strong move to the downside. This thing trades crazy. Traded up into hourly supply. You're seeing a little bit of a pullback from that. So that might have been the entry on this if you're looking for short side continuation. The problem is you're trading at the lows. I don't like doing that. At the lows. So this thing can find support. So if you're looking for shorts, you've got massive daily support that has been tested, broke out, and confirmed as support by this candle there. So taking a short, you're going to have to look to get your targets off the table there, right? Anything lower, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. So where would you get 18 pips? So two targets, 13 pips, not valid setup. We want to see over 20 in order to get valid setups, or in order for it to be a valid trade. Yeah, so Euro Yen's pushing down. It's at the lows of day already. There's nothing gained there. Nothing to gain. Pound Yen, same thing. Already put in a pretty big move, but it's at support. I was bullish on the pound coming into today. Still am, but I just can't bring myself to buy when there's a lot of bearish momentum. That's not too bad. And it looks like it is finding support. So, yeah, I mean, if you can't close below 157, 355, maybe. Maybe you can be a longer term setup. You're only down 0.38%, which is pretty good, actually. That's from the daily open. Where is the daily open? Here. Oh, yeah. So you're a pretty good piece from that. This is daily open here. Right there is your daily open. So you're trading down, down, down. So trying to bias, it could work out, but I think this is going to take a couple days to play out, right? Before it finds actual legit support. And then we can look to get long on pound yen, pound dollar. Because they're, like I said, this one looks a little bit better for longs. We got to find 1700, as that's going to be your daily open. Here. You're well under it, right? So the momentum for today is to the downside. I don't like stepping in front of that. Plus, you just got to close below this one, and then that one close below that one. So you're making lower closes. It does look like it's struggling down here, though, for sure. People are trying to buy off that trend line. So that's probably what you got going on here. So I would let this thing's probably going, tomorrow will probably be the trade on this. This will probably go ahead and blast down, take out all the stops that are getting long based on this trend line because they have no patience. This is the first test, the very first test, right? This can take all day to play out. Even tomorrow it can take to play out. You can get multiple days of a support test. We want to get in there when we think that range expansion is going to happen, when the momentum is behind us, not in front of us. Right now, the momentum is just now moving to the downside. So don't really like it for longs just yet. You can see you could get all the way down to 137.616, and as long as you're not closing hourlies below that, I'd still like to take that long. Here's your hourly chart past 5 to 6 days. Order flow's bullish, right? If you're a pattern trader, you're calling this a double top and you're getting short. You might win today, right? Because I am looking for this to pull back. This spent many hours up here and it didn't break out. But this was, during the last part of the day. Asian session volume comes in around 8 p.m. So that's when you got a little move to the upside and boom. So your daily candle's looking like it's wanting to close bearish on the day. So we'll give this one a day or two to situate itself. And that's pretty much all I've seen. USD JPY is coming off. Sounds like it's raining outside. But I want it lower if I'm going to look for continuation of longs. This has been all week. This thing's traded up here, so don't want to look for it to buy it here. But if we get a support test and a hold down here around 113.607, then we can target this swing high for bullish entries. But that has to happen first. It's a little bit stretched out, so might take a few days, something like this, a couple days. All right, and that's basically it. Let's see what you guys got to say this morning. ADA is going for it. Yeah, it moved pretty good yesterday. It damn sure did. Going for it today. It's in the daily res right now. And old supply as well there. So yeah, it's in the resistance. Can't buy it up here. Can you buy it down here? Yeah, but you can't. I don't want to buy it up there. I don't want to buy it in front of resistance. And there's so many bullish candles here, so it's like it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to let it break out, and then we'll look for possible retest entries. If you're looking for longs on Cardano, it's been basically wedging up for a long time. Been trading sideways since September the 19th. That's when you put in this low. So yeah, it's just trading sideways. It needs to get out either way for you to basically execute entries. Good night, Juan Alba. Says it's 2:30 a.m. for him there. Apologies on that. Good day, Heath, everybody. What's up, my friend? Good morning, Michelle. Solana on a tear. Yeah, it is. It's moving up. That's for sure. I'm short pound dollar from one. All right, let's go look. I think you might be on the right side of the trade today, but I don't know why you're looking for shorts. Indicators are all bullish. I think you're, yeah, see, I mean, there's only one moving average above you, and that's this one I don't even hardly even use. I only put it on the charts because a couple people asked me to. Other people use it. The 120 day, I don't use it. It did catch the swing low on Bitcoin, but you know, it's just one of those things. So that's the only one you got to get above. Right now it's bullish, but let's see where your entry is. 138192. 138192. 192, 192. There we go. All right, so you got short there. Let's go see why. Well, I can see why. I would have obviously waited for a higher test of actual level, but you didn't get it, which, you know, I wouldn't have taken it. So that's what I would have wanted to see. It looks like you're in good shape. I don't know what, at this time when you took this entry, I guess if you took it at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, then you had a low of day target here, but your low of day has already been hit. So you should have taken profits here. Moved your stop down to break even for a possible move on down into 137. Right in here, right? 137.619. I don't know if it'll go down there. There's another area here, one spot 37786 that could stall it first. But yeah, I mean, it looks like you won the trade, so you did great, right? We never know what price is going to do when we take entries. That's why we look to take entries at higher probable areas. You got a push up into resistance and it held. This is called rejection. And that's what you want to see if you're looking for short side entries. So yeah, by the looks of things, that you probably just got short once it got there. Unless you waited for a retest of it, I don't see why you would have entered on this retest. Oh, there it is right there. So on the smaller time frame, if you entered here or here, I see why now. Yeah, looks good. I bet this little bit of price action right here has you nervous. It looks good. You're on the right side of the trade today, but we are bullish on this longer term, so make sure you take profits sometime today for sure and move that stop down to break even. That gets all the risk off the table and your trade was successful. Even if you lose all the unrealized P&L, it doesn't matter because your objective was met. You exercised a plan and that plan worked out. And you gotta love it when a plan comes together. Good job. Good job. I'm looking for it to find support somewhere below where you currently are. But I could be wrong. This thing could be rolling over and going back down to lows. We don't know. But good job on today's trade. Absolutely. Careful with GBP rates rises coming. Yeah, if they raise interest rates, it's probably going to rip. Probably going to rip. We'll see. Is that today? I can't remember if it's today or yeah, maybe today. Bazooka candle time. I'm also short USD JPY from yesterday. Break hourly notice took 3-year high. Thoughts? Yeah, it looks to me like you're liking to try to pick those reversals, and that's not the way I like to trade. We've already looked at yen, USD yen. You're on the right side of the market today, and that's all it is, right? When you're a day trader, you're looking for that, just to get on the right side of the market for that day only. I noticed it took a 3-year high at 114.55. So that's when you got short, 114.55. And you took that at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I mean, you're on the right side of the trade and you're in decent profits. You're coming into support right here. So take profits, move your stop, get the risk off the table. I don't see it coming back up there today to stop you out, but anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. So just, yeah, it looks like you took 2 fantastic trades today. 400K is unrealistic. It seems like it to me, myself, as well. That's a very, 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 very big move. Very, very big. I mean, massive. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, no. Not in 2 months. It's highly unlikely. I'd say 100K would probably be easy, right? Now that we got above all-time highs, it seems like it could be. So I'll keep an eye out right around 85, which I'm not gonna close my short or my long position, my spot long position, right? I'm not gonna close it this year. I'm gonna buy more, and I'm gonna buy more around the halving in 2 years, or whenever it is. 2024, I think, is the next halving. Let's go see. That's what I'm gonna be buying more. So I'm just going to accumulate my position. Yeah, March 1st, 2024. That's the projected time for the next halving. So this is around where you're going to be wanting to look to be a buyer, right? I don't know if you'll come back down. You never did before, right? On these last 2 cycles, when you put in your cycle peak, you never came back for a retest. So you have to go on log to see that. See, there's your cycle peak, bear market phase, new breakout, cycle peak. Here comes your bear market phase. You never did test this old cycle peak. So that's what, if you're looking for that to happen again, then basically you're going to be looking to be a buyer anywhere from 53K to 20K. Around this area here, you're going to look to buy. Right there, that's the sweet spot. Now that one couldn't possibly head up to those insane price targets. That cycle peak, right? But that's a long time from now. It's just October 21. People don't want to wait till March 24th to get rich. They want to get rich today. So a lot of people are just going to get hurt on this. A lot of people. 200K by St. Patty's Day, my friend. That could be possible, I guess. 200K seems a little better. So this right here is your cycle peak. That's, like I said, that looks more like next year, right? Or the next 4-year cycle. That's a double. I mean, way more than double. There's your market caps for $7.5 trillion. That's up here. That's insane. That's a big move. We'll see what happens. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We'll just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. If it does have a big, massive drop, blow off top, after it hits 150K, then we'll look for shorts. Right? We'll look for shorts. We'll get short that thing. I ain't afraid to short it. Many will FOMO into alts. Yes, absolutely. I think that's why we're seeing bounces today. ADA needs to catch up with Saul. He must be long ADA. It's at $2 and Solana's at, yeah, that's going to be a pretty big move. 190. This is at $2. Yeah, it's got some movement to go to get to there, my friend. Neo is undervalued. All right, so Polygon chart, please. By the way, what's your outlook on BTC weekly? I'm bullish on BTC. Like, it can go as high as it wants to go as far as I'm concerned. There's no way I can get price targets. Some people on Twitter is using weird means of finding price targets. And they have a bigger following than me, so I'll let them make the price predictions of when they think it's going to roll over. I just trade. I like to follow it. So if it's going to go up, I'm going to stay in my long. If it comes down and stops me out, I've already taken profits. I'm good. Polygon. I don't know the ticker for Polygon. That's not gone. Let's see. Matic. Yeah, it had a pretty good move. You're consolidating and you're moving out of it. But you can't enter longs here. You got to buy a support. Like your support tests. That was a clear and obvious place. And you didn't even have to buy it here. You could have bought it on this day. But you're definitely looking for support. Once price shows you that it's support, then you look for your entry. And that can take a couple days. But you're coming into daily res, it looks like it wants to go higher. It's definitely starting a climb. It's bullish. And I would be looking for bullish entries all the way up until the time you break down below that trend line. It's bullish. It's definitely bullish. This was when Bitcoin fell. So you can see that it's a lot weaker in comparison to Bitcoin. As Bitcoin just went straight up from here, right? And this thing didn't. So it looks like it's trying to go higher, but it's not moving very big. It's up 2% today. So look for another candle like this to appear. That would get you over this swing high. But I would not get long up here, right into resistance. So I mean, it looks good, but you gotta find assets that are at support. Assets that are moving in your direction, but at support. And pins on PayPal. Oh, pins. Yeah, pins. We called pins out Tuesday. You wanted to see it. We pretty much nailed that. Well, you did. Absolutely crushed that trade. Look at that, man. So this is where we were on Tuesday. I can't remember. October 19th. Was that it? Today's already Thursday? That's insane. October 19th. So this day was here. We were looking for a pullback down into this area, and boom. And you basically hit me up in the Discord saying that I almost called it perfectly. I didn't trade it. But yeah, it worked out pretty good. I'm glad you nailed it. It was a fantastic trade. And if you're still in it, good on you, because there's the move. That's the one you were waiting on. Boom. Massive push higher. That's a fantastic trade. I got, this is a gap. Big gap. You hit midpoint. So this is good enough to call gap filled. Even though this is the gap from here to here, that's your gap. But, I mean, market makers can consider that gap fill. Right? Because that's a swing low. So it's not going to trade all the way up to that. You're just seeing a little bit of res here. This gap will probably get closed. That's a lot of bullish momentum. Fantastic. Fantastic move. And you got in on the best day. Good job, bro. Fantastic. Now, obviously, there's no way to know that this is going to happen. But if you look to trade this way, it puts you in the best spot to potentially catch moves like this. Right? And that's all we can do. That's all we can do. XTZ. Yeah, I realized that I did pass a lot of comments, but I was getting tagged. So, alright, let's do this. I got 10 minutes, so let me scroll up real quick just to read. Litecoin. Let's go look at Litecoin real quick. Litecoin is weaker than Bitcoin, very much so. Litecoin didn't even make a new all-time high when it was really bullish back over here. Here's your all-time high on Litecoin. You didn't make a new one. So Litecoin has been inherently weaker than all, right? Ethereum, new all-time high. Solana, new all-time high. ADA, new all-time high. This thing, if I could get it on there. Come on. There's your all-time high, 420. You checked it, and boom, that's when you sold off. So, I mean, like, if something shows me that it's just weaker than the rest of the market, inherently, I don't want to trade it, nor do I want to own it. I do own a little bit of Litecoin, but I don't know how or why. It's a very minuscule amount, very tiny amount. Somebody could have tipped me or something with it, to be honest with you, because I just don't know. I don't know. I don't remember buying it. But it looks like it's trying to take a move, right? This was that fake news day, but you got supply. You're into supply here. That's why you're seeing a bit of a pullback from this right there. But this swing high is key. You got to get above that. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't even be messing with this thing until it got above that. The downtrend would have been too steep, so you could have just traded sideways and broke out of that, right? So there's no point in putting a trend line there. It's moving higher. You're into resistance. If you want to buy it, you need to wait for at least a midpoint check of this candle, or let it trade all the way back down to old resistance, which is right there. Well, that one closed just a hair above it, so that's it now, right? Let it trade down to the midpoint or to here. That's where you want to look for bullish entries, and that's only if the daily is not closing below it, as that would be indicative of support holding if the daily is unable to close below it. But I definitely would not be buying it today. Not even for just a high a day check, because you've already moved. It does look like it's going to break, to be fair, intraday, right? Support held, you're getting a bounce. So, I mean, not much of a target, but it does look like it's going to move higher. This is what you should have been trying to catch. But I wouldn't have bought it there either, because the resistance was here. But down here, these are fantastic ads. You find your range and then look to buy the support. So this is your range low here. So you're looking to buy as many times as you can. All the time. Range high, range low. So if you're looking to buy, you would have looked to buy here and you would have been stopped out. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking to buy the low ends of the ranges. If you're bullish, if you're shorting it, you want to sell resistance. XTZ, if there's... Yeah, let's go look at that. XTZ. Tezos. Let's get off the hourly. This is an asset that I can remember trading when it was literally 29 cents. And man, that hurts. That hurts so bad to know that I was trading this thing down here. 29 cents. Could have just bought and held it. And that thing, now it's trading at $7. Multiple R's on that. It looks like it's found support and you're getting a bullish pop. The daily ranges are tiny in comparison to these daily ranges. So your volatility is compressing. So a breakout is coming. A breakout or a breakdown, I should say. Resistance is here. Right? Support is here. So this is going to be your range. Here's an old resistance level that you could possibly look for intraday support. It has already been tested, but come on. But if it comes back, if it holds, look to pick some up. There. If it comes down here, 655 is where I'd look to be a buyer. If I'm bullish on it, right? Here or here, not up here. Up here is where you want it to break. That's your daily res. It's almost hourly res as well. So, yeah, it's a good spot. That's your target. That's your target. So you need to get it lower and be targeting that. That's where you're going to take profits. And Solana looks great now. It looks great now because it's got a big green candle, right? You need to change your mindset. You got to change your mindset. You're doing it wrong. It looks great now, but the entry was lower, very much lower. This was what we would have called demand. This is what I call demand. Or if you're new here and you hear sometimes the word or phrase Heath level, that's this right here. This is your entry. This is where you're looking to get long. And you knew you were looking for longs because here's daily resistance. There's your breakout. Okay? It's the same thing on Bitcoin. So price finds support, makes resistance. There's your breakout. You took out 2 areas of resistance and closed. So you give it time. Here's a check or here's a check. You had 2 opportunities to get long on this asset. You do not want to buy it now. You are into resistance, and this is all-time high resistance. Is it going to break out? Probably. But there's no entry on it now. Okay? There was an entry on it 2 days ago. There was an entry on it yesterday even. No, there wasn't. Sorry, I take that back. There was an entry on it 2 days ago. Here. That was your last opportunity to get long. Now you got to wait for this thing to find support. And that's probably going to occur after the breakout. I mean, to be fair, it's got to take out that high to break out. So a daily close above 190.96 will be okay. A daily close below 192.96 is okay, or 190.96 is okay too, as long as it finds intraday support. If it makes a range intraday today, all day, and into tomorrow, look for entries close to here or here. These are going to be your 2 spots to look for support. Intraday support. First spot 182.70 here, there, and there. Right? Those are your last 2 lines in the sand to catch a breakout move to all-time highs. But you are buying the top. I don't know if it turns out to be the top, but you're buying highs. Just like I did yesterday, buying Bitcoin ahead of the breakout, I'm buying highs. There's a good chance that trade don't work. But I was only aiming for the all-time high. Anything extra is icing on the cake, right? It's just icing on the cake. All of my risk is completely off the table with that position. If Bitcoin wants to go to 400K, I will let it run, right? But the risk, I am no longer risking my money. Now I am only risking unrealized P&L. This is why we take profits, and this is why we have targets. So what I would do is I wait for a pullback to 182 or 171, and then my target would be resistance. Look to buy off support and uptrends. Look to sell off resistance and downtrends. But yeah, that's what we're waiting on. It definitely needs to pull back. Definitely needs to pull back. You did get an hourly close above daily res, but hourly closes above daily res doesn't really matter. It needs to be at least an 8-hour or 4-hour closure above resistance. But yeah, it does look good. It does look like it wants to break out and run higher. Did I even look at DOT? I don't think I did. Let's go out real quick daily. Okay, I got some kind of craziness going on over here. Alright, so basically this is just your underlying trendline support. I just tacked it to this, from this low to this low. See a test of it. Boom, explosion up. Created new support here. That support held for multiple days. So this is the price to buy. Stop below the lowest wick. This is a 2-to-1 risk to reward. Had you taken an entry here with a stop below there, you would be up 2-to-1 here. What are you into now? Daily res. There's your all-time high. Here's daily res. Actually, you can use this daily resistance because this one was a bull trap. This was a bull trap, right? You got a daily close above and then immediately you pulled back. So yes, that can be resistance, but I would watch this level first because it was even retested here before the initial move to the downside. So that's where you're into right now. You haven't touched it yet, but that could be a target. And this was, I guess I was trying to show a bull flag or something, but that's done. I'm not a pattern trader, but I will point them out for people if I see them. But yeah, that's a close above resistance. So dot looks good. It looks like it's moving on. But this was the opportunity to buy it at $40.60. Definitely. That's where you wanted to look to get long. I mean, it held for almost a solid week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. It held support. So yeah, it looks like it's going to go higher. Going higher. And it is over, so let's just scroll down here real quick. Hodl BTC forever. My kids will be living La Vida Loca. Yes, that's the right way to be. Multiple years. 10, 15 years out. Alright, guys, I gotta cut her down. And I'll look at algo for Ramsey real quick, and then I gotta jump off here because gotta get ready to look for entries. I got algo over here on the yellow list because I've been keeping an eye on it. We got weekly support here, so we got back above that. Let's get rid of these so I can show you. Weekly support was there. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Back to the daily. So there's weekly support. Yesterday's close got you back above it, right? Yesterday evening, last night, this would have been entry. Or as close to entry. You would have been looking for entries here to there, right? Because that's weekly res. And if you go into the hourly, you can see here, it gave you an opportunity and showed you where your entry was. Here, hourly push, close back above. Hourly support, set. Game, match, right? This was your entry. Any one of these wicks. And it's moving higher. So now you got to wait for it to find resistance. Where that will be, nobody will know. But once it does, you're going to be looking for a pullback area to get long. There are multiple resistance levels. Next big one is here at 189. Right? 189. That's your next big one. So, yeah. Probably be seeing $2 soon on algo. Alright guys, with that I must end it there. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your patience as I get this YouTube stuff situated. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. As always, I answer them all. You guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody.